Everybody, thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. My name's Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. And I said I would go live more often on my channel because I've been doing other content, movie reviews, chats with my wife on live stream about different topics and things like that. But I just wanted to come on here briefly to talk about something that recently happened. And I just want to find a way to vent, to do something productive with this disappointment and all these feelings that I have inside of me right now. And I just want to express myself openly and honestly with the people like I always do on this channel, because my channel has always been about the true, honest experiences about what it's like to be Black abroad and to illuminate those experiences so other people are aware when they travel to different countries, and so that people who are non-Black can also be educated about the Black experience so that they can interact with Black people better and hopefully create a better world and that sort of stuff. And I'm just going to be talking about what happened today. Recently, when I went to the store to do some shopping. So here in Hungary, they have a few different grocery stores. They have Spar and they have Reál, and they also have some bigger chains like Aldi and stuff like that that you'll find all over Europe. I mostly shop at Spar, S-P-A-R. I know the Hungarians, if they're going to watch this later, will chastise me about my pronunciation. They'll say it's pronounced Spar, not Spar, but whatever, S-P-A-R. But sometimes I shop at a place called Reál, R-E-A-L, because they have this special cheesy bread. I don't know what it is. I need to write this down so I don't forget it, because I'm never going to shop at Reál again after what happened today. But this bread right here, I think it's called Sajtos Forma Kenya. It's very good. And I like getting their bread there. And they also have really cheap tuna. The tuna only costs about 570 Hungarian forints or something like that, which is about $2, right? Other places you get tuna in Hungary at like Spar, it's like 1,000 just for like one can. That's not cool. Anyway, Greg Max says, Chili Simon, what up? Hey, how did you get to stay longer than 90 days? I have my visa. This is my Hungarian, residency here. And yeah, I got my visa by, through my wife. But I also have a student visa because I just got accepted into a university here. So I'll be studying here. So I got my student visa, family reunification visa. Hungary is getting more strict, and maybe they'll get more strict after this video when they hear this Black man talking about his experiences. But Hungary is somewhat very strict on immigrants coming into the country. It's a right-wing country, conservative country right now, and they're very anti-immigrant, anti-refugee, anti-stuff like that. So yeah, I don't even think they're doing family reunion visas anymore. And I might lose mine if somebody in the government doesn't like what I say here, because this is a very small country. Like, it's a very, very small country. Everybody knows everybody. It's all off of last name. In Hungary, your last name literally comes first. So yeah, I've had people come up to me in Hungary saying that they've seen my YouTube channel. Right? That's how small of a place it is, right? So my 2,000 sub channel is actually, people know about me here to some degree. Literally, it happened the other day when I went to work. Somebody said, Simon, I saw your channel. And I think everybody, all of my students have seen my channel. I don't advertise it, but it just goes out there. But anyway, Greg says, I'm in Czech. So yeah, I don't know if you got your Czech visa or if you're just visiting, but shout out to the Czech Republic. Would love to visit Prague one day. Anyway. So I go to this place called Reál to do shopping often because I like some of their products. And I don't shop there often because the other things that are not what I've shown you are more expensive than at Spar and stuff like that. And secondly, another reason I don't go there is because there often is this very tall, very homely, gap-toothed, missing teeth security guard there with a ponytail. Older man. He looks like he was maybe a retired cop or army guy or something like that, and life has been hard on him. So I sympathize for him in that way, and I'll pray for him. But yeah, it looks like he's down on his luck. He always follows me around there. Always follows me around whenever I go into the store at Reál. This the security guard, right? So at first I was walking to the tobacco shop to get some tobacco, and as soon as I saw the security guard through the glass of the doors of Reál, I said, "Oh no, 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 no! How bad do I want peanut butter and jelly and cheese bread? Like, how bad do I really want to buy tortillas and slightly more expensive tomatoes, but just want to skip the the pain of walking a mile to go to Spar and stuff like that?" And I said, you know what? There have been other times I've walked in there and he didn't follow me around, but the only time he hasn't followed me around, in fact, there was only one time he didn't follow me around. It's when I was wearing a suit. I often wear suits all the time. That's why I have all these dress shirts. I have about 3 or 4 suits, and sometimes I come home from work and go to the store, go to that place nearby, and when I'm wearing a suit, nobody bothers me. But I shouldn't have to wear a suit to get treated like a human being, like a dignified person. Some people, because the other people that walk into the store, and I've seen it with my own eyes, many men, women walk into the store and nothing happens to them. They're not followed around or anything like that. But the only time I'm not followed around is when I have to wear a suit. That's not okay. But other times I wear like my jeans, maybe a t-shirt, maybe my tracksuit, something like that. But every time I go in there and I'm not wearing a suit, I get followed around by this guy who is at the front of the store. I'm going to jump to the comments. Greg Mack says, "No, I don't have a visa. I have to leave tomorrow. My 90 days is up on Thursday. Come to Budapest. Let's chill. Let's grab a drink. Let's hang out." Something like that. Come through, man. Come through. But anyway, so I decided, you know what? Let me go in here and see what it's like today. I only had to grab a few things, the bread, the tuna. That's it. That's all I wanted to grab. And Greg Mack says, "That's a lie. How about your troublemaker suit? You had beef." No, I didn't have beef. I don't have beef with nobody. And I know you're just being funny, man. But for real, Greg Mack says, "I can't go to Hungary because it's in the European Union. I have to be out of the European Union for 90 days. Ah, I get you. Okay, well, I think you'll be traveling to Serbia or Croatia. No, not Croatia anymore. Montenegro or something. Either way, have fun. But no, regardless if I'm wearing a tracksuit or if I'm wearing a suit, I don't deserve to be followed around." So I'm walking in the store. I grab the little handbag and I'm quickly trying to grab my things because I just want to get home. I rarely even come out of the house. As I'm walking around and I'm picking up the last few things I wanted, I go to the ketchup aisle to get some sauce, like some hot sauce or something like that. I turn to this way, I turn to the right, and the guy is standing right there. Now, I've confronted him. I confronted this guy before. I said, you don't have to follow me around. He didn't speak any English, but I told him this. I've actually addressed this man before and stuff like that. I've told him that, you don't have to follow me around. You don't have to do this before. So he should at least recognize my face because we've had eye-to-eye contact before where I've told him this. Even if you don't understand, you know my face now. Okay? And he says, "Oh, no, something in Hungarian, no problem," something like that. And then he starts walking up the aisle, ahead of me, but then I start walking behind him. I'm following him to see where you were going, because if he was pretending like he was walking somewhere to get somewhere, he walked past the employee door, like there was an employee door to the left that he could have pretended to go in, but no, he made a right and just walked around that way and stuff like that. Mind you, in this store, they have cameras on the ceiling. They have, the mirrors in the back that let you see everybody that's in the aisle, all sorts of stuff like that. And so, he could have easily just checked that. And plus, he couldn't miss me. I was wearing my green tracksuit with some new Puma shoes and stuff like that, looking very fresh, very clean. I was not hard to miss. Anyway, Yavuz 9000 says, "Montenegro is least racist country." Okay, I think you're forgetting Montenegro is the least racist country. I don't know if that's true, and I don't know. There's a lot of Serbian people there and a lot of Albanian people there. So I'm pretty sure there's some anti-blackness there, to be fair. But I don't know. I haven't been to Montenegro yet. I still hold right now that Hungary is the least racist country that I have visited. But I will just say that, I don't know about Montenegro. But anywhere where there is a large majority, anywhere where there is a Anywhere there are white people, there will be anti-blackness. There was a story that just came out about Russians and Ukrainians living in Sri Lanka, and even though their two countries got beef, there's a club there that only allows white Europeans in, no native people in Sri Lanka. So, anywhere there are white people, there will be anti-black racism and discrimination of other people, and that's not right. That's not cool. That's not cool. Going to continue. So, in the story, I'm following the guy, and then he, just stops in the middle of the aisle, like as if, he's shocked that I'm actually doing this. I didn't touch him. I didn't harass him or anything like that. I just followed him. Since he wants to follow me, I'll follow you. You can walk with me in the store, put it in my cart. But no, anyway, I go to the checkout line, I pay, and nobody there speaks English. This is like a very working class store. The neighborhood that I live in Hungary is very, interesting because there are very high income places in this district. Then there are also very low income places in this district. Right down the street from me, we have all these beautiful apartments, museums, stadiums, hospitals, and stuff like that. And then right this way, you have all these drunkards who hang out all times of the day and all times of the night in the city, right? In where I stay. So it's a very interesting place, right? But nobody speaks English here, which I'm not surprised based on the neighborhood. And I tell the cashier guy after I pay, can I speak to the manager? The manager was in the back on the phone. I wait a few minutes. He comes out. I expected him to speak English because usually, the people higher up in a company, right, have some worldliness about them. He didn't speak any English, though. Older man, deep blue eyes, kind of a bit hunched over and stuff like that. He didn't speak any English. I said, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I go to the Shell gas station, and I type something on my phone using the internet that they have there to translate what I wanted to say. And what I said in the message was essentially, my name is Simon Hill. Every time I come into this store, this guy follows me around. I'm familiar with this sort of behavior. This is discriminatory. This is biased. This is racist. It's not cool. I work very hard for my money. I want to continue to spend my money here. Can I please just get an apology from this man and an acknowledgement that he will not do it again? I come back and take that to the store. And, at the beginning, I kind of knew on one hand that, how can I say this? Me saying that something was racist was going to put them on the defensive. Because as I've told you all before, black people know white people better than white people even know themselves. And we know as soon as we say certain words, they will get triggered, right? So I knew as soon as I said that this was racist, this was going to conjure up all of the things in his mind that he had to say to try to defend his partner, not even himself. This is how white supremacy works. In white supremacy, you have to defend the institutions, the ideas, the things that don't even relate to you, just to uphold white supremacy, right? So I take this to the guy. He pulls out his phone and he starts typing on his version of a translator. And he basically says, we don't discriminate against people based on color, religion, sex, origin, blah, blah, blah. All the typical talking points that traditionally come out from people and stuff like that. I take my phone back and I use his phone to write back, there are many people in the store right now while him and I are speaking. I went back to the store. I'm standing in the store during rush hour, about 5:30 p.m. Many men wish death upon me. Many people were coming into the store. Many women were coming into the store. When I went into the store, it was somewhat empty. Like it was me and maybe 3 other people. By the time I came back, it was like somewhat packed. The security guard was still standing there. Still standing at the very entrance of the store while there were so many people walking in. Meanwhile, he's not following them around. But when I walked into the store and it was very, very empty, he decides to follow me around. And he has seen me before. Now, that's textbook racism. That's textbook discrimination, right? If you're a black person, you know that those people are following you around and doing that sort of stuff to you. And, that it's just a double standard because he wouldn't follow any of the white men who are walking around the store and stuff like that. There was an Indian man who came into the store, and because he was now being pressed on his racism, he didn't follow him around the store, right? Very dark-skinned Indian man came in. So me and the manager are going back and forth for a while on the phones and things like that. And eventually, he puts the phone to my face to speak to the phone to translate because typing was taking him a long time. Like I said, he was an older man, so he didn't have, the thumbs that, us millennials and Gen Z have, just to boop, 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 type it out. So he puts the phone to my mouth to speak. I speak on the microphone, but it didn't translate. I guess the connection was gone or something like that. I end up walking outside with him so he can get reception. But I also think he walked outside because he didn't want people in the store to hear what I was saying. Just if just so happened somebody understood English. Right, the cashiers and a few people were like taking glances at us, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't like everybody was like staring at me as like I was making a scene. I wasn't making a scene. I was literally just, standing there with this guy. Oh, he's typing on his phone. We look like if you've ever traveled to like a foreign country and you were in a taxi cab and your taxi cab didn't understand what you were saying, it looked like me standing next to like a taxi cab driver while he's trying to, figure out how much to charge me and I'm trying to haggle with him or something like that. It wasn't anything ostentatious. It wasn't anything too big. But we go outside and yeah, he's still typing on his phone. We're going back and forth on whether, this was a racist act or not and things like that. As he's continuing to write very slowly, which I think maybe he was trying to kill time, this woman comes out of the store and comes up and says, I overheard what you were saying in there, and I just want to see if I can help. And a part of me was happy because one hand, her English was okay. Maybe she could translate. This is kind of what I was hoping for the entire time, that somebody would come and try to, mediate or be the liaison in communication for this situation. And also because she was a woman, right? So maybe she would have, more understanding of, prejudices, biases, and that sort of stuff. But so what happens? I'd say, okay, great. Every time I come into the store, this man follows me around. I walk past the store all the time. I live here all the time. And I see this guy not follow anybody else around. Literally, while we're standing here at the front of the store now, he is still standing there and not following any of the other white people who are walking into the store. But every time my black ass walks in here, he follows me around. That is not okay. Now, I am just simply asking for an apology, and I'm asking for this to never happen again, because this store is convenient for me to come to sometimes because it's so near to my house to shop at and stuff like that. I tell her all of that, and at first, I'm thinking, okay, she's going to get it. She's going to argue on my behalf. She's going to be like my lawyer. She's going to fight for me. Oh, no. Oh, no. She starts by, well, can I first tell you that maybe everything is not what it seems? I'm like, okay, I know exactly where the white folks are going with this. This is like the mind tricks they have to do. Once again, white supremacy is not about actually doing anything beneficial for humanity or even doing anything beneficial for yourself. It's about supporting the system, maintaining the system and the status quo that keeps people, oppressed and discriminated against and treated differently, right? So she tries to white-splain to me about what I experienced was not racism and how it cannot be viewed as racism. Because she started saying that, I go to the store all the time with my daughter, and this man is standing here all the time, and nothing ever happens and stuff like that. And I said, okay, I think that sort of validates my point about how he only follows me around, because I'm telling you about my experience. You're talking about your experience, and yes, that actually supports what I'm saying, because he's not going to follow the white women around the store who are walking in. He's going to follow the black men, as if black men come to Hungary en masse and rob, loot, rape, and steal. No, we don't. But I still have to be followed around, even though you literally saw me pull out my debit card, my multiple debit cards to pay every time I come in here, stuff like that. I get to be followed around. Meanwhile, you get to come in here and it's no problem or no issue and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm telling this to her, like, what you said literally, validates what I'm saying. And she's like, but no, you have to listen. This man has a demanding job. I'm like, okay, everybody's job is demanding, but that doesn't mean you get to be racist. That doesn't mean you get to be discriminatory. Black people don't steal more than other people. I want to repeat this. Black people do not steal more than other people. Black people, by and large, if we are in Hungary, we are probably here to study, work, or do some job, or travel and be tourists. Most of the time, when people are doing those things, the last thing they want to do is get in trouble with the law or steal. So what even logic do you have in your mind to think that I would come into the store and steal? The most likely person to steal in a Hungarian store is a Hungarian person. All of these broke-ass drug addicts and drunkards that I see when I walk outside every single day, who are all white. Meanwhile, I go and work every day in this country and work online, hard as hell online every single day to try to put food on the table, to maintain myself, and to have a good time, right? So the last thing you should suspect of me is to be a thief in your foreign country. The last thing that any black person wants in a foreign European country is to get in trouble with the law. So she continues to try to, white-splain to me. And then I have to say to this woman, like, look, listen, as a woman, if you were to tell me that you were sexually assaulted, raped, men were verbally abusing you, and I were to tell you as a man that, no, that's not what happened, that's not what you actually experienced, how would you feel? And then she got really quiet, and then she continued to say, but no, it's not what it seems. There is no racism here. And so I'm like, okay, listen, I don't even want to, have this conversation with you. I'd actually prefer if you walked away. But what if you do want to be in the middle of this A-B conversation, you could see yourself to do this. I want you to ask this man, will I get an apology? All I'm asking for is an apology and an acknowledgement that it will not happen again. If that apology does not happen, no, she asked me what will happen if he says no. As if she already knows that she will say no. And a part of me already knew that he would say no too. She says, she says, what will happen if he says no? And I say, I just won't shop here again, and I'll take my complaint to the higher ups. And that's all I can do. All I can do is try to use my words to try to fight this situation, to try to fight the wrong that I feel like is done to me. And then she, said, once again, then not everything black folks. What you saw as racism was not really racism. They love to say that. The only time there could be racism is somebody yells a racial slur while they're killing a black person wearing a KKK hood while burning a cross in the front lawn. That's the only time racism exists in the minds of white folks, right? It can never be anything else, right? I wish we as men could say this about sexism. In fact, I might bring this back. But anyway, she pulls out her final trump card, and she was reaching in her phone the entire time. And I'm like, bitch, what you reaching for? The entire time she was talking to me, she was reaching in her pocket for her phone as if she was going to pull out something. I'm like, whoa. But anyway, she just blurts it out at the last moment. And she said, my husband is black. And I said, I don't care. It was as if that means something. Like, I don't get why white folks think because you suck on black dick or beat a black pussy, that somehow makes you less racist, or that makes you the eye or the dictator or the arbiter of deciding what is racist. This is a message for all white folks. I only have 4 people in the live stream, but if you're a white person watching this, I want to tell you this right now. Nelson Moreno jumped into the chat. Shout out to Nelson Moreno. For all the white folks out there, it does not matter how many black people you sleep with, how many rap songs you listen to. If your son or daughter is half black, you cannot be telling black folks what is or what is not racist. Just the same way we cannot tell y'all the right Blink-182 album is the best, or or the best season of Friends. We can't tell y'all the best season of Friends, who was the funniest character on The Big Bang Theory. We can't tell y'all any of that. So y'all can't tell us what is or is not racist. We leave y'all major stuff alone. So y'all can't tell us what is racist. And especially just because you have a black husband, which makes me think, first and foremost, anytime a white person tells me they have a black husband or something like that, I'm automatically thinking this person is like 1/8 black. I'm automatically thinking this person looks like, you know, Sammy Sosa before he tanned, right? The bleaching Sammy Sosa. They look like the final form of Michael Jackson. Like that's white people's version of black people most of the time that they have in their lives most of the time. And no offense to my light-skinned brothers or sisters out there, but knowing white folks, especially European white folks, because of the limited interaction they have with dark, handsome, melanated people like myself, most of the time the black people they're meeting are like Dominicans and Cubans who come over here and they're like very, 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 very mulatto, if that makes sense. Nelson Moreno says, I'm heterosexual. How can I be a misogynist? Exactly, right? Nelson Moreno hit it exactly on the head, right? This person, you know, tried to hit me with, you know, I sleep with plenty of black people. My husband gives me BBC every single night, so I can't be racist. As if that matters. And I really think she was expecting to say that and like trying to drop the mic on me as if I would just, oh no, I just met a white woman who sleeps with a black man and now she can tell me about my experience. Absolutely a shame. But it's even more shameful if that husband is black, like if he is my skin tone or if he is really black, and he has this white woman running outside telling black men what is or is not racist. Absolutely a shame. Absolutely a shame on that black man if he is really black, but I doubt he's black. You know what I mean? He looks like Drake's son. He looks like Adonis. That's the version of black she knows. Anyway, she says that to me, and I tell her this. I tell her I don't care about. I was this close to saying you suck on my cock. I was this close to saying it, but I didn't say it. Anyway, I tell her, I don't care about your black husband. Can you please just ask him this? Will I get an apology? Will they promise not to do it again? And then we can all go about our days. I don't have any hard feelings against the guy. I don't have any hard feelings against the store. It's very useful. This is capitalism. It's commerce, right? I didn't say all of that, but I basically said, you know, I want my apology. Don't do it again. And we can, you know, continue going back to doing business. She, you know, sort of like throws her head back as if shocked that I was not, you know, flatlined by her being a mud shark, as the white supremacists say. And she starts ranting to him in Hungarian. They go back and forth, blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. I'm hearing when he's talking a lot of nem, 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 which nem in Hungarian is no most of the time, right? Yeah, she starts talking to him. He starts going back and forth. And then eventually she says, he says he will not give you an apology. He will not apologize to you for that. And then I say, you know, did I steal anything? I ask him, did I steal anything? No. Have I stolen anything? No. Am I suspected of stealing anything? No. Have I just not paid for the products that you see right here? This delicious cheese bread and this tuna. Did you not just see me buy that? Yes, we saw you buy it. So why would you not apologize to a customer who is giving a complaint at least? I know I sound very Karen-ish right here. I might be very Karen-ish. But I don't think there's anything wrong with giving a complaint or speaking up for yourself in a situation like this. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And, you know, they said that they still won't apologize because what's more important is that they not chastise the man who just criticized the customer, right? I guess, you know, the 300 euros he's getting paid a month is a good investment because, you know, now they're going to miss out on thousands of euros that I was going to spend over the next few years that I'm going to be living here, hopefully, inshallah, in Hungary, just to placate this person, just to not hurt his feelings. So I say to them, you know, I will never shop here again. I'm going to take this complaint up. God bless you, whoever you are, woman, and, you know, see you, man, like, whatever. And that was it for the story. You know, it really hurt me. It really made me very hurt to have this happen here in Hungary because so far during my time in Hungary, I've had very good experiences with Hungarian people. To me, they're generally pretty, like, level-headed. They're pretty open-minded in general. Like the people I meet in Budapest, right? And like I work here as an English teacher and I'm talking to Hungarian people damn near every day. And when I go outside, you know, I don't get a weird feeling. I feel very comfortable in this country. I sort of really like this country. But that experience right there made me, you know, really rethink, you know, me wanting to plant roots here, stay here permanently. It's still better than America, right? Because this same thing could happen in America and it's trash. For any of you dummies who are going to jump in the comments later and say, America is worse and stuff like that. No, America in America, this doesn't happen. No, this happens in America. That's how I was able to recognize it, right? Hungary is still safer than America, still cleaner in general. At least Budapest is by America, has better public transport, better social services, a better society overall than America. Not talking about the right wing parts like, forbidding, gay marriage and their discrimination against the Gypsy people here or Romani people here or, the right wing turn in the government here. No comments about that because I don't really care about any of that. My thing is I just want to feel personally safe and personally comfortable and personally respected in society. And this was my first big disrespect that I felt while here in Hungary, which disappoints me because, I know that, me being here with my wife, countries are the backbone. Countries are built somewhat on the backbones of families, right? Families sort of help a society be, stable, prosperous, and grow and that sort of stuff. Hungary has a shrinking population. There's a lot of old people aging out here. There are a lot of young people moving to Austria and Germany and other parts of the EU to find better work. They're trying their darndest to try to get those birth rates up, but that's not happening. And I don't want to try to continue to look at myself as some commodity that's transactional with the state, as if I bring some extra value to a state, right? Because, as a person, every person flatline is valuable. At a base level, every person matters and stuff like that. But I do see it being important for Hungary, by and large, to be an attractive place for people to want to move to or want to stay to. And, discriminating against people, being racist against people, that's not going to work for Hungary, right? The hardworking man that I am, the type of man that can do great things, you're not going to keep a person like me here, by being this discriminatory. I know some racist is going to jump into the comment and say, we don't want anybody here. We don't want black people here. We want to keep it racist. We want to keep Hungary white. If y'all want to keep it white, y'all can do that. Y'all can be fine, okay? So motivational movement said, bro, they are never going to accept you. So I want to talk about this thing about acceptance because a lot of people jump into the comments and say these sort of things, these sort of talking points that sound nice at first, right? I don't go anywhere for acceptance. Let's keep this absolutely clear. Nobody should go somewhere expecting acceptance. What they should get is respect. Now, motivational movements, if you're the type of person who thinks that respect is not mandatory to be given to every single human being, then that's your prerogative, and you can believe that about people. But if that's the case, motivational movements, that you don't think people deserve respect, then motivational movements, I have a message for you. But I would like for you to answer the question, do you think people deserve respect, not acceptance? Because acceptance sort of follows along with basic respect. Yvette Lane jumped into the comments and said facts. I don't know if Yvette Lane is agreeing with me or agreeing with motivational movements, but however you feel, Yvette, welcome to the chat, welcome to the live stream. But I'll just say this. Overall, my experience in Hungary has been pretty positive. I've been able to, find great opportunities here as an English teacher. I've met some very wonderful people here in Hungary. Hungary has generally great food, a very interesting history, an interesting language, a beautiful architecture, a great public transport network here in the city. It's a very comfortable life here in Hungary. But the thing that is missing, I think, in the mentality of some older Hungarian people, specifically just the security guards at stores, is the discernment to say that if they're going to actually do their job, which is by definition to make sure nothing is stolen in the store, if a security guard's job is to do that, they should do that without discrimination. I am not saying that security, I'm going to make this absolutely clear for any of you dumbasses who are going to come later and say, so what are you saying? There shouldn't be security guards at the store? No. If you're going to be a security guard at a store, follow everybody around in the store equally. Follow everybody around in the store equally. I don't care if a grandma walks in. If that's your job, do your goddamn job. Don't just decide to have 20 cigarette breaks in 1 hour and then decide to toss the cigarette as soon as you see the first handsome, melanated, nappy-headed boy walk into your store. That's racist. That's wrong. That's wrong. And I'm pretty sure dark-skinned Hungarian people, mostly Romanis and Gypsies, or however you want to describe them, have been going through this for a while here in Hungary. Now, I'm not coming here like Martin Luther King to try to, liberate people or or to bring out racism or anything like that, or that's not what I'm trying to do. But what I'm saying is, as a man, I will always stand up for myself. People that want to tell me in the comment section, like, shut up, Simon, they will never accept you. Or, shut up, Simon, stop talking about racism. Y'all want me to be an emasculated black man. Y'all want me not to use the mouth, the teeth, the tongue, the words, the intelligence that I have to actually advocate for myself. What y'all want are black men who are passive, who will not speak up for themselves, who will let their families and their lives get run over, ramshod by white supremacists who want to continue to dehumanize us. But I won't let that happen. I will not let anybody racially insult me, racially profile me, harass me or my family without me doing anything back in return. That does not mean violence. That means using my words, using my gifts to actually advocate and speak up for myself. That's what I'm saying here. That's what I'm saying here, and that's what I will always do, and that's why I'm proud about what I did today. But on the other hand, it's bittersweet. It's a bittersweet feeling of pride, but also of depression and sadness and disappointment. Because overall, I've had a great time in Hungary, but I don't want to walk into every store, see the security guard, and know now that I'm going to have a personal chauffeur. It's not right. It's not fair. I'm living in this area right now, and the way I do my shopping now is I pretty much go to one grocery store, like I said at the beginning, called Spar. They don't have a security guard there, but even if they did, the only thing I ask is that the security guard not follow me around, especially after you know me. I could understand maybe the first time you don't know who the hell this person is, but if you see me in there multiple times, or at the very least, I have spoken to you before, you know me. All right, I'm going to jump into the comments. Motivational Movements said, these people do not have history of respecting people at all to include their own. That's not what I'm asking, Motivational Movements. What I'm asking you, Motivational Movements, is you. Do you believe people deserve respect? If you think people deserve respect, say that, because then you and I are on the same page. And if those are the beliefs you hold, then you should actually promote those beliefs to other people and expect other people to do that. Now, if people disrespect you, then therefore you have the right to disrespect them. Motivational Movements then said, West Europe would give you and your wife more respect. That's not what I'm asking you, Motivational Movements. This is a person who has a low IQ, even though I don't believe in IQ. In fact, I will never say low IQ again. Motivational Movements has low rhetorical capabilities. He is not a person of being able to express himself because he just wants to shout out slogans at me as if a random person on the internet has some ability to motivate what I think or believe. Motivational Movements that say UK and France because of the human rights laws. That's not what I'm asking. Motivational Movements, once again, please answer the question, do you think people deserve respect no matter where they come from, no matter where they are? If you don't believe that, then your mother was definitely a woman who didn't instill values in her son, possibly because she had her legs spread out wide, working day and night to try to put ramen noodles in your little Flintstones bowl. Anyway, continuing with what I'm saying here. Here in Hungary, I want to say this, that, I don't know if I'll always live in this district next to the supermarket that I like, or if I will move somewhere else, and then I have to deal with the constant harassment, because that's not okay. That is not okay. It's not okay for me to have to worry every single time that I walk into the store. You know what I mean? And it's a minor and major worry at the same time. Minor in the sense that, yes, I know if I walk out of the store, generally I'll be okay, right? But it's major in the fact that I have to constantly think that, that's how people view me, just because of the color of my skin, just because I'm different looking than the people here. I have to expect that I will be disrespected in that way, right? And that's not right. That's not right at all. You get what I'm saying? So I hope people are catching what I'm putting down by saying that. But, I think about often, would it be different anywhere else? Like I said, this same thing could happen in the United States, and even worse. And even worse, here in Hungary, generally, I won't have to worry about the police shooting me in the back. Here in Hungary, I don't generally have to worry about, how can I say this? Discrimination against housing, right? In the U.S., there is some subtle racial discrimination in housing. There's discrimination in employment. There's so many other things that are wrong in the U.S., particularly the violent aspect of this same sort of discrimination, right? I don't have to worry about that generally in Hungary here. It's a safer society. But I still shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable, right? And if I think about it, right, I'm pretty sure all the black folks in France are going through this, though I'm not really sure. On one hand, I think because they are more multiracial in France, though not by a lot, maybe it is better in the larger metros, but still there are places it could happen. I don't want to have to go through this. I don't want to have my kids go through this and stuff like that. And I want to continue to try to figure out what I'm going to do with where I settle down and where I lay my roots. How much can I deal with? I could tolerate this to some extent, but I don't want to have to continue to having to prove myself every single time I go into the store that I'm not a person who will steal and that sort of stuff. So Yvette Lane left 2 laughing emojis. I don't know what she was laughing at exactly, but I hope it was about something I said, and I hope you were laughing with me and not at me. Motivational Movements then said, you can do as you want, but practically speaking, Eastern Europe is not the PC region of the world. They are a triable people. This is a person who can't spell triable people, particularly the Balkans. Has to do with the politics. They are suspicious. So I'll say this, motivational movements, while Eastern Europe might not be PC, or as some people say, as humane as other societies or as open as other societies. And I think that's largely to do with the poor economics in this region, in Central Europe, which most people describe Hungary as in Central Europe, not in Eastern Europe or the Balkans and that sort of stuff. I think regardless of whether they do that, whether they are PC or whatever, it should not be okay to racially profile or racially harm people by any means. Does that make me an idealist? Yes, I describe myself as an idealist. I describe myself as a person not afraid. I am a very brave man. And I'll say this, I think that most people in the world share my point of view. Most people in the world do not racially harass black people. Most people in the world are not, rabid racists, even in the Balkans, right? I've had great times in the Balkans. The only time I talk about racism is when a few people exercise bad habits and that sort of stuff. The majority of people around the world that I've seen and spoken to and met during my travels are good people, and they practice the type of respect that I expect from people, and that I'm glad to see that other mothers put into their sons. But yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say here, motivational movements. It sounds like you're trying to give excuses on why it's okay to racially profile a black person walking into the store. Motivational movements then said, yes, they deserve respect. Finally, it came to that. And then motivational movements then said, salute. Nelson Moreno said, Simon, please review a movie today so you can feel better. I'll try. If you have a movie that you suggest to make me feel better, send it my way. I'm about to eat. It's Ramadan. I've been fasting all day. I just drank some water, but I'll try to get better. Roseanne jumped into the comments. I heard Hungary is very racist. Is it true? I'll say this, Roseanne. My experiences being here as a black man so far have been generally positive, literally up until this day. I cannot explicitly tell you nothing comes to mind right now before literally today, and today is March 19th, 2024, and I came here back in October 2023. I cannot think of anything explicitly racist. I have heard some weird racial comments, but that was literally from like one person. Other than that, everything else has been great so far. I've really liked Hungary, and I still really do like Hungary. I'm not making this video to have beef with Hungary. I'm just coming here to share my experiences about what it's like to be black abroad, so people know. And today I was followed around the store unjustly. I tried to get an apology from the person. I tried to, amend the situation, saying that I would still shop at the store. No beef, no foul, nothing like that. Let's just try to make amends here. And they didn't want to do that, so I'll never shop there. And I feel like that was wrong. They could have handled that better. And now I'm chatting with y'all about it. So this is and there are many other black people who have spoken about being followed around the stores in Europe, right? There was a Instagram that not my wife sent me. It was my friend Josh. My friend Josh, who was on my channel, he was from Ghana. He sent me a video from Serbia, where black people in Serbia were talking about, they were doing that meme. I'm black in Serbia. Of course I do. Of course this happens. Or I'm black in Serbia. Of course this happens. And one of the things they said was, I'm black in Serbia. Of course I get followed around the stores. And I'm pretty sure a lot of black people, in Poland, Hungary, Serbia, Germany, Italy, right, have had this experience. I am more than certain. And the crazy thing is, this shows how white supremacy is evil in the minds, because I am not the first black person to talk about racism in Europe. There have been several other black folks talking about racism in Italy, Albania, Greece, Montenegro, France, Portugal, whatever. And white folks still to this day will say, our countries do not have racism. They have all the other isms: sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia, everything else. But racism, no, right? Showing that white supremacy is about being on code. And most white folks are on code. They are on code about denying the existence of anti-black discrimination. I'm going to jump to Nelson Moreno's comments. Watch Love by Gaspar Noé. I don't think a Gaspar Noé film would make me feel happy today. Oh, Nelson Moreno. We should do some more Gaspar Noés because all the Gaspar Noé films I did went up. They actually got some good views, some good interaction from people. I would like to see Enter the Void, I think. Maybe some other movies too. I would like to check them out too. But I don't think a Gaspar Noé film would make me happy. I thought you were going to say something cool, like, I don't know, Friday, or like a good comedy, like a good, you know which movie should have had a sequel? Undercover Brother. Undercover Brother with, damn, what was the buddy's name? Oh, man, the comedian, Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin's Undercover Brother deserved a sequel. And if it had a sequel, I would like it. That franchise could have been like Anchorman. You get what I'm saying? First movie's really good. Y'all go check out Undercover Brother. All right. Roseanne said, wow, that's crazy. Nelson Moreno said, trust me, it's very crazy. Please watch it before Enter the Void. Definitely. We're going to get back on our Gaspar Noé. The movie is horrible. The worst from him. It's hilarious. Which movie is horrible? I don't know exactly. Undercover Brother. Isn't that Eddie Griffin's only movie? Like the only movie where he starred in, like he is the main actor. What other movies did Eddie Griffin do? Like I want to say like All About the Benjamins, but no, that wasn't him, right? Oh, Love. Okay, Okay, Love is Gaspar Noé's worst movie, so that's why I will find it hilarious. Maybe. Okay. All right, interesting. Any other suggestions on to boost my mood? Honestly, chatting with all of you has boosted my mood. I feel good, like, chatting with this community here and sharing my experience. It's very hard. A part of me was kind of scared to do this live stream because, like I said, Hungary is a very small country, right? I have had people, at my job say, hey, Simon, we saw your channel. Or, like, students say, hey, Simon, we found your channel. And I was a little bit of my heart sank. But then I was like, oh, well, I know exactly what's on my channel. Like all I do is talk about news and movie reviews and my travels and stuff like that and about being black abroad. I have nothing to fear. Once again, guys, I have nothing to fear. This is why I show my face. This is why, I talk the way I do, because I want to show everybody that you can do exactly what you want to do as a black person and fear no consequences, because we have to be brave to try to change this world. Somebody might see this video in Hungary, send it up to the government or the police, because that could really happen here. I wouldn't be surprised it could really happen here. And they could say, oh, look, we have a troublemaker here. We have a troublemaker in our country who is trying to stoke up racism. He's trying to invent racism in Hungary because we don't have any racism, something like that. But I'll continue to be brave, right? This is why I wanted to speak to my guy Cam, and I did the interview earlier this. No, that was last year. That was last year, this year, I forgot exactly. But I did the interview with the Nigerian American guy who has been in Hungary for a long time. And he told me he's had a great time. And at first, when I was interviewing him, I didn't really believe him at first. When I was interviewing my guy Cam, a Nigerian slash American who is living here in Hungary, been here for like 2 years, he told me, never had no problem. Everything's cool in Hungary, man. I was like, I don't really believe you. I don't really believe you. Because how can you be around all in this very homogenous country and not experience anti-blackness? And he was like, yeah, no, it didn't really happen like that. And so being here in Hungary since then, I was like, maybe Cam is right. Maybe Cam is right. I never got it delusional to think that, oh, there's no racism here, or I would never experience anything here, because we have to understand, being black in this world, you will experience something. It's just about your reactions and the conclusions you come to when those things happen to you, right? Just like in any person's life, but it's particular for us. But when this happened today, it just reminded me, boom, okay, we're still in white supremacy land. We are still in white supremacy land in Hungary. There is anti-blackness here. There is discrimination here. I got lucky to some degree with the jobs I got teaching English here. Because I do have a lot of experience teaching English, but also, I'm an American, and I do realize my native accent does help me open doors for that other people couldn't get in. Like, I acknowledge the fact that if I was Nigerian, South African, Ghanaian, Kenyan, Cameroonian, something like that, it would be harder for me to maybe get the jobs that I get, unless I had way more experience or way more degrees or something like that. But I acknowledge my privilege that way, right? So, yeah, I'll just say that, I try to be the best black man that I can be to represent for my people. I wear a suit every day when I go to work. I try to take care of business here, standing on business here. I try to follow all the rules and all the laws and that sort of stuff. I work very hard. I try to stimulate the economy, try to spend money even when I, don't want to spend money, because I feel like I'm giving back to a country who has, allowed me the opportunity to do so much and be here. I actually really, really like this country, and I really respect its people. You get what I'm saying? But what I will never respect are anti-black races. So I'm gonna say F Reál, F that store, F Reál, F that security guard that works there, F that white woman who just so happened to be married to a black man, so she can tell me what racism is or isn't. F the manager who didn't want to, have his employee apologize to a customer, right? And yeah, that's what I want to say about that. Jump into the comments. Nelson Moreno says, Tinker Tailor's Soldier Spy 2011. Beckett is a movie where an innocent black man is running from the police in Greece. Very intense. Okay, I don't know if that will make me feel better. But that's a great movie. I need some great movie recommendations like this. Beckett. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. What's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy about? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. I really want us to review Gattaca. If anybody's seen Gattaca, that's my father's favorite movie. And I love watching that movie every few years. I feel like I saw it like 10 years ago. Every decade I have to rewatch Gattaca. Gattaca's a classic. I really want to watch not Starship Troopers. I really want to watch Starship Troopers, because I feel like as that movie has grown and aged, people start to like break down this movie in so many different ways, and they find ways to relate it to today because of like the hints of fascism in it and stuff like that. I really want to watch, it was right here. Oh, you know what I've never seen? You know what I have never seen? God damn, I was going to say it, but I just lost it. There was a movie I've never seen that I really want to see and review with Acti. God damn, I can't think of it right now. But if you got any other recommendations, let us know. But as far as recommendations, I will say this. I still suggest Black folks travel to Central Europe, Eastern Europe, that sort of stuff. This has been by far, one of the best experiences and chapters of my life being here. I'm generally overall happy here. I'm generally overall, content with how life is working out here. I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm very blessed to be here. And I wouldn't trade my position right now in life with anybody other than, maybe like Jay-Z or Lil Wayne. I wouldn't want to be anybody else but Obama. But no, I like my life right now. My life is pretty good. Could have more money. Could have more. Could have more free time. Could have more determination to work. I feel like I don't work enough. I feel like I could be grinding a lot more on the things that are important to me. But I try to do all of those things because I know that there are so many barriers for people like me to overcome, right? People are not expecting me to be the person that shows up when at the job interview they want to call Simon Hill, right? And I know that I have to work twice as hard to get the things done that I want to and accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. So that's why I try to be the best goddamn English teacher you've ever had. That's why I try my absolute best to be the best, YouTube commentator that you've ever seen. That's why I try the best to be the best writer for hip hop music reviews for culturalist theory that you've ever seen. I try my absolute best to be, everything my ancestors could never be, and that weighs heavily on me. And knowing that about myself, it makes me sometimes feel doubly sad that I still, get treated this way. I expect it and I know the right ways to respond to it, and I will always fight back, right? But I'm just sad when I know myself. I know myself. I know who I am. I know what I want to give to the world. I know, the type of person that I am. And to see, me be treated this way, it's not cool. Other people might say that, it's not that serious. Just get over it. But, we're still telling y'all to get over how The Sopranos ended, and y'all won't shut up about it. So, Nelson Moreno, Love is hilariously bad, nasty, and the most hedonistic film out there. It's X-rated, unintentionally hilarious. Okay, I feel like this is going to be body horror. Like, this is going to be like labias cut off and like, scrotums ripped open. I feel like it's going to be body horror. I don't know exactly because you never know what to expect with Gaspar Noé. Really want to review. Okay, I think I was going to talk about the movies I wanted to review. Really want to review the New Color Purple, Gattaca, Starship Troopers. There was a horror movie that I saw on Movies to Watch that looked good, that I really wanted to check out. I think it's called Stop Motion. It's a British film that came out about this stop motion animator who's having all these weird dreams, stuff like that. I really want to rewatch Martyrs, and also the other film that was made by that same director. There's a lot of films that are on my list, but Nelson Moreno is dropping some heavy dope recommendations. But we really have to do all the Gaspar Noé films because those are the most intense when it comes to the debates between my wife and I after we watch them. So we're gonna do those. I promise we're gonna do one. We might do one tonight. Well, not tonight. I mean, I had a free day-ish, but I got a busy night, and then Wednesdays are always heavy for me with work. So I don't know if I could do it tonight, but maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna jump on that. I promise, Nelson. Thank you for the recommendations. That's really all I had to say, people. But thank you for coming into the live stream. Thanks for chopping it up with me. Shout out to Nelson Moreno, of course. Shout out to Roseanne. Shout out to Motivational Movements. Shout out to Yvette Lane. Shout out to Yavuz 9000. And shout out to Greg Mack. I hope to see y'all on the next live stream. Remember this. Remember this, man. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. Be kind. Be understanding to the hurt that other people have. And let's fight anti-Black racism and white supremacy wherever it appears. Peace. I hit myself in the eye.